choke on your mock apple martinis. If you're serious about that job offer, come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision. Most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Now, if you're finished urging workers to quit, let's move on. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. Worry not. The culmination of my plan will bring me the tools to aid you in your endeavor to enter the Vox station. Westport is a shell of the bustling town it was prior to the invasion, though a handful of Protectorate Yaysayers still cling to it. My plan requires their conversion. Verily. On to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry. The choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Perhaps. The kit contains a wide variety of tools, propaganda, equipment, and more than a few confectionaries. Some items may serve as honey, swaying the Yaysayers to our side. Others are blunt implements, crippling infrastructure to force the refugees toward Fairfield. Slather on a bit of elbow grease and you'll certainly succeed. I'm sure there are kindred spirits in Westport. No one wholly resists Auntie. Westport represents a challenge. The challenge presented by the majority of the Protectorate. Fairfield citizenry were given ample incentive to fold, for they could see the freedom we offer firsthand. But the people of Westport are stubborn enough to risk death for their ideals and cannot be swayed by the lights of Fairfield. If I can convert them, I can convert anyone. Excellent. Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine, assorted stimulants, free samples of Purpleberry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. With that, I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, gentle person's Oxonian. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately. Do I look like Officer Carr to you? Guns.
The Sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection.
Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. protectorate. We're all in this together.
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Wasn't Hogarth one of Milver Street's key subjects? Doubt a Vigilant will sweeten to a corporate recruitment campaign, but I suppose it costs nothing to go and speak with him.
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word of the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Some raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to...
Greetings.
Just to offset any minor
It is my
disruption.
esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Sabotage and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
We all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time.
If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Half this town is underwater and the rest soon to follow. Maybe instead of looking to those who left you to drown, it's time to accept an offered hand. One from Fairfield, maybe?
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect
What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces
Difficult place to saunter into. Stations off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Farewell now. Under Protectorate law, we are bound...
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. Right. Okay. Well, if we do as Milver Street's asked and convert the populace to Auntie's choice, they're more likely to get the care they need and not be sentenced to death. Milver Street also promised us a way into the Vox. Oh, and a Ritzy hat. Man drives a hard bargain, if he can be trusted. Reviving Westport would anger some folks back in Fairfield, but there's no question the Vigilant could help us get into the Vox station a whole heck of a lot easier. Your heart's rightly placed, Commander, but past experience has taught me that sometimes helping causes more harm than good. That's all I'm getting at. Guess it's south then.
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting.
I wish everyone's neighbor Prudence was my actual neighbor. Except my domicile is
Word on
presently
the
underwater.
wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the paradigm.
The Sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed...
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking Protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Ah, good. A captive audience. Money well spent. You must have spied those nefarious crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army! You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble! Don't trouble me with automechanical matters. That life is behind me. Ask the quartermaster at the repair facility, assuming she hasn't been devoured by Crabbles. Getting better, I think. The Crabbles have seemed less menacing of late. Maybe our resolve has worn down their warlike spirit. Or maybe they're just biding their time.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Ambient uranium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Let's look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable. Current inventory indicates 0 copies of item designated stuff. Transaction halted.
I see. It's mislabeling stuff as a specific request. I'll have to add additional linguistic support for collective nouns. Look, for now, just use the phrase initiate commerce. It's what I used during the initial testing.
Initiating commerce.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. You're not implying the quartermech is somehow responsible, are you? I'd hate for the big guy to get in trouble. Fair's fair. Better to pay now than lose my favorite quartermech later. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia is not very nice. Or maybe she just doesn't like me personally. Anyway, she's very talented, and I'm glad she's helping out. And I'm never going within 10 feet of her again. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
See you soon, I hope.
Welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the Marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. The roof! How could I have missed that? In retrospect, the problem is glaringly obvious. The quartermech couldn't figure out where to stack boxes on the x-axis, so it defaulted to the y-axis. I'll have that tinkered on shortly. And you're welcome to keep the automech parts, of course. Thanks for solving my little mystery.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
No, I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name.
Outsider?
Manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind.
Envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer.
That is most excellent. Please, hand them over. Yes, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose.
Terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolence.
Wouldn't know much about that, but you'll find they serve a practical purpose here. With them equipped, you'll traverse that path with relative ease. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It saved many lives.
And thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest...
I can't offer you anything for it, but you've proven yourself sympathetic to our cause. Consider you a compatriot now. I'm counting on you to do right by folks here once more. Hopefully, you'll return afterward and find Westport thriving, all on account of your efforts. That is the only reward I'm able to offer.
The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a...
The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing protectorate law.
Invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those...
Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox relay, conscript him with the writ. And this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen.
Prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any...
If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup.
It's not just a good idea. It's...
Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulation.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse.
The paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it.
Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. I have the aid of key pillars of our community. several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me, and our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers. But I know you've got more to do than listen to me natter on about the state of Westport. The Vox Relay's your main concern now. Farewell now.
We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we...
Ready to waste. On your command.
Benefits available at your request. Ready to assist with agents' health needs. Fortifying. Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprat race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Have the gratitude of everybody. Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which are a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station, a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to...
Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. Just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign. Funny. I reckon that's more true of them over in Fairfield. They love their substandard comestibles and lack of fellowship. Smacks a bit of conspicuous inveiglement to me. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. Why, things need to severely decline around here for me to even consider... Oh, shut my mouth. Could never leave our fine Vigilant in the lurch. Fairfield. You don't say. Huh. So it's only here with our, perfect society that it works our way. How, fortunate for us all to benefit from such judicious guidance. That's a right intriguing proposition. I do wonder what it's like to have a choice about things. If it weren't for Vigilant Hogarth, I do believe I'd scupper off to, well, you know where. Yeah. You convince him, I'm in. But I owe him enough I wouldn't abandon him for nothing.
As the perfect ecosystem, the native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign.
Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
The system is resilient. The system abides. But now...
Why, that's wonderful. I'm actually quite relieved a fellow customer like yourself somehow saw through my carefully maintained act. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials.
Minor disruption.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk
Why, they are certainly inspiring. There's this one character who just laughs at danger, says he hand makes his own luck. Is that not the grandest thing you ever heard? You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret, I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
Sabotage and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
How I've waited to hear those words. Anything I might help with at present?
Disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contempt.
Really? What was he like? Bold? Assertive? With a wildly obstreperous theatrical air?
The paradigm epitomizes the...
An audacious proposal. Yet this place, despite its recent humidity, remains comfortable and familiar.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
With a full case, I might gorge upon such sweet goodness morning, noon, and night. All right, hand it over. Oh, but what would Vigilant Hogarth say? What would everyone say? I can scarcely imagine it. Abandoning my community only to satisfy my gastronomical urges and risk-taking attitude. No, I couldn't leave unless Hogarth ordered everyone to go.
Time for recreation. We sleep well at night.
Righto. Well, you seem rather confident. Best of luck, I suppose. You are surely going to need it. Please inform me when, of course, you receive it.
Take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted.
This is all going perfectly according to the paradigm, I guess. I just can't wait for it to be going more perfectly again.
You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. Don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you. Honestly? Well, I'm a reasonable judge of character, and you seem upright. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? They'd sell to us? Those medicaments you gave us before? No, never. You must think me easily hoodwinked. Our societies are sworn enemies. You almost make that sound reasonable, under a highly skewed, morally vacuous light. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though. Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those Crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty, and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. All right, be careful out there.
Outsider?
Strenuous or stressful, food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything.
You have your orders. The Vox relay awaits. Do remember what I asked of you.
And thank the Sovereign.
What utter nonsense. How can you say that? Now, when I have automech parts in hand. No, your timing is absurd. Your wit, witless. Do tend to differ. Seems to me we're persevering, demonstrating a mixture of aplomb, grit, and tenacity even. Last I checked, our infrastructure is still plugging away, and our people are too.
Because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora.
But it's not everyone, is it? I'm sure it's not. The majority of my subjects are steadfastly loyal, resolute, right as rain.
To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the Sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all.
Oh, I would love to argue that this is not the case, but I fear you are correct. This war, this devastation, it can't be denied they've taken their toll. Ultimately, I regard their well-being above all, but the joke is on you, really, and them, I suppose. Don't you see? We're all traitors. I no longer hold any authority over anyone. But if they still wish my blessing, it is theirs. My former subjects are free to live an empty life with Auntie's choice. I'll make an announcement. Order them to depart for Fairfield. But I will be staying.
Just to offset any minor disruption.
Should I? Haven't I failed them enough for one lifetime? No. I will stay here and loyally await the judgment I richly deserve.
For mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Admittedly, the outlook is bleak, but I am a member of the Protectorate. I shall persevere. They will see I am a subject of worth.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense.
Indeed, no doubt. They'd make a most elaborate display of a former vigilant. Perhaps better to live in shame in a basement and to live, Fairfield it is, then. Unsure how I'll endure such an empty existence. Perhaps, if I offer my old subjects periodic advice, our sense of community may somehow, despite the wiles of commercialism, remain. All right, then. Suppose it's time to make my announcement.
Embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion.
Attention, everyone. Attention. I, Vigilant Officer, hereby do order all subjects under my command to abandon the settlement of Westport at the earliest possible juncture. You are to depart from the township of Fairfield safely and together. Once there, you are to appeal to local authorities for citizenship with Auntie's choice. Thereupon, you are thus and forevermore relieved of your duties as subjects of the Protectorate. This is a direct order from your Vigilant and is not to be questioned and can...
Don't suspect the Sovereign will be too fond about these orders to evacuate. Or the Consul. Or everyone's neighbor Prudence.
Prudence dictates we maintain sufficient zeal at all times.
Nature made apples, but Auntie Fizzos made them better with Auntie Cleo's patented mother.
I've been bartering with defectors. Traded one Force rocket for a whole tin of prestige Force glow.
Every time I think I'm having a bad day, I just tell myself,
You've lifted my spirits right out of their doldrums. Our new guests have just arrived. Here, a considerable reward for your considerable efforts. Had anyone asked, I would have bet a year's pay against your capturing the hearts and minds of the denizens of Westport, and it seems I would have been out a great deal of bits. I've two minds about the convertees. Anyone with eyes can see they need guidance, but a pernicious system is not easily abandoned. Have you any thoughts? Trust will take time to build, time and patience. But that is an investment I am ready to make. You've given me a great deal to think about. I am in your debt. I cannot overstate what a capital compatriot you've been, my friend. Now be off. I've many refugees to see to. I believe Vigilant Hogarth mentioned he presented you with a writ of conscription that should ease your entrance. I believe that should be more than sufficient. Now, should you ever find yourself visiting the ACS Undisputed Claim, do come see me. I've no doubt that when we next meet, I'll have risen 6 ranks, at least. Farewell! What? But you... Oh, fie. Here are some bits for your trouble. Now, off with you.
Well, if it ain't DB Milver Street's newest sycophant. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, and you can consider that introduction the start and end of our personable relationship. If you'd spoken with me like I suggested, mayhaps the two of us could bandy words, but you didn't. And taking sides with Milver Street means I got no use for you.